Alright everybody, welcome to this video. In this one we are going to be tackling the last area of the gutter as well as the Black Gulch. This is where I left off in the previous one. We have been lighting our way through the entire level and now we're going to continue with it. So when you come across in here, it can be a bit confusing as to where to go. The second stairs on the left is the one I'm going to take. In here are some dung pies, which can be used later on against the giants. Here you have to be careful. There's one more enemy like this guy with a sword. I believe he's already aggroed. I'm not sure. There he is. Yeah. And I think the dung pies are the only items in here. I usually don't explore because I'm pretty sure I don't need it. But yeah, that's the second enemy. And he can come up behind you as you go through the fog wall. No! Oh, I got him. There we go. When you go through this fog wall, there will be one of those explodey guys. 2 sconces on either side, as well as poison statues. I did mention it in the previous video, but the key to this area is just to take it really easy. Break the statues as you go along. Kill one enemy at a time. Use a torch for visibility, even though... look at him coming from above. What the hell? Even though the enemy's aggro easier, it's better like this. Unless you know everything you're doing, you know. Just speed running through, then you don't need a torch. We are lighting all our sconces because we want the reward at the end. These enemies are also... Actually, they poison you, don't they? I like to bait them to jump attack and then attack them. And this big ant thing cures poison. So it's friendly. And these 2 statues, for some reason, don't poison you. Which it's kind of a missed opportunity, because if they did poison you, you could prove it right here that that this thing cures you of poison. I guess not. I guess that was too difficult to implement. I don't know. Right. So here's where the bonfire is. We'll go in the second staircase on the left. We'll have to make a few risky jumps. I will put on the cat ring here in a second. It's not going to save you from extremely high jumps, but it will save you from, you know, the less high ones. Go over here where the vases are. And this is one of the jumps we'll make. I usually like to jump and descent attack. But it's not really necessary. If you want to, you can try to jump from there, for example, or get there and then onto the chest. The thing you need to remember is, first of all, enemies will be aggro towards you the entire time. There's like, I don't know, around 10 or something here. There are 5 sconces in this contraption area here that you need to light. So just count them. Whenever you go down the second stair on the left, start counting your sconces. And the last one you want to light is the one at the bottom. That's very important. I repeat, the last one you want to light is the one at the bottom, the one at the ground floor. Here you get the large club. Pretty good weapon. The enemies are just chilling. I like to wait up here because sometimes they get stuck on each other, but you can see that they're coming up the ladder one at a time. So we can Spartan tactic the heck out of this. And, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Actually, should we do something fun here? You gotta be careful because they can 3-shot me. Skadoosh. Yeah, if they combo me properly and they hit me 2 or 3 times with their dark-infused swords, they can absolutely destroy me. Wait, what? I'll make Greg. I guess we have to use one of these. Alright, so let's go down there. You see another guy incoming. Here you get 20 life gems. Really, really useful. Oh yeah, and I'll show you something here. So where we found the large club, right? That was this staircase right here. We're going to take the staircase, I guess, to the right of that one. We're going to go up this one. And that's the final sconce you want to light at the end. So this is what, the third one, I believe now, right? And then you take the stair to the right. So go up one more time. I believe can you actually go back up entirely? I've never done that. Maybe you can. Yeah, it looks like you can. You can go back up to the bonfire from here. After you light this one, which is pretty much in the center of everything, then you should just look around to where you can drop to another sconce. This is the fourth one. And if I've done everything correctly, once I light the fifth one and final one down here, we should trigger an invasion. Make sure the enemies are dead and stuff, ideally. You don't want to be fighting the invader as well as the enemies that come here. I don't have a lot of fire bombs, but you can break these with throwing knives or it's just a really long weapon. I'm gonna do this in case I get overwhelmed. This enemy that we're about to fight is pretty strong. I guess we can use backstab weapon. Make sure I can still fast roll. And let's see. Yeah, I can't quit the game, which means I did everything correctly. And we are invaded by Melinda the Butcher. Gutter Denison. That attack can be rolled behind quite easily because it has a lot of recovery. But she's a mage. Ideally stay closer. I'm not going to backstab her this time so you can see a little bit more of her moveset. She just keeps doing that. That one's the easiest one. Just, you can visually roll that one. That one is not very easy to roll. And I mocked that up. We don't want to die here. Because, yeah, you have to sort of know the difference between the timings of the attacks. Alright, and this is your reward, the Black Witch's Armor. I will make a series of videos on how to make certain areas of the game easier. And this armor right here will help you in one of those areas. It has very good defense towards all sorts of magic, essentially. It's very, 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 very useful. This torch is not necessary, but whatever. A fragrant branch of yore, and we can move on to the gutter. I mean the Black Gulch. We're gonna change up our strategy slightly though when we go in here. This area requires a lot of patience. I'm not gonna lie with you. Pretty much as the previous one. As a matter of fact, I believe that I have not been to that area. I don't have the whip. So we're gonna have to use something else. I guess maybe we can use a lance. Cat ring, do we really need that right now? Okay. So this is what we're gonna be doing. Don't really need the torch technically, but whatever. So I'm gonna use a lance and destroy literally every single statue. Well, not literally. Almost every single one. You have a chance of being invaded by Forlorn as you make your way through this area. What the hell? Okay, we did. This is the reason you destroy them, because actually it's a good thing that it happened, because now I get to show you. I like to fight Forlorn by parrying him, because he's one of those NPCs that is extremely he doesn't follow the laws of physics that you have to follow. For example, you can do a running attack with a lance on Forlorn and he will roll out of the combo, which is impossible. I mean, you're being stunned, but he doesn't get poisoned, right? Stuff like that. So I just prefer to parry him as much as I can. But if you want to fight him, if you're not good at parrying and you want to fight him, I ideally recommend a relatively long weapon, like a halberd, maybe a lance, and then hit once, only once, hit him, because you don't want to. I can't see him properly. Let's just do this. Jumping attack cannot be parried. So this is why I eliminate the statues, right? They benefit him, but they don't really benefit me. Or like they don't do anything to him and they mock me up. Can I pair guard break? There we go. Let's see if we can show you how to fight him otherwise. The problem is that you need a longer weapon than this, because you want him to always be at far away from you. So he does the rolling attack. I guess you could roll into him and attack like that. The stone ring can be really good against this enemy, because yeah, he's pretty good at rolling. So hit once in case you fail. 1, 2, He usually attacks in combos of 3. Right there, he didn't get staggered. You see why I parry him? Roll into him, attack. So when he rolls at you, it's very easy to see when the attack is coming up, so you can roll into him and attack. But keep in mind that he doesn't, even if you hit him with a greatsword, I'm not even kidding, even if you hit him with one of these weapons here, he sometimes just ignores the poise. He just is insane. So that's why I prefer just parry and do a lot of damage. Parry and do a lot of damage. I never fight Forl on fair because it's not really, doesn't really benefit me. By the way, if you have a whip, you find this in the Forest of the Fallen Giants in Soldier's Rest, where all the Turtle Knights are. That can be a really good weapon in this area. Do the running attack with a whip. Even if you don't have the stats to use the whip, it's still okay to do the running attack. I'm just going to walk like this. Ouch. Putting on poison resistant armor here is kind of useless because you still get poisoned in 2 spits anyways. This weapon is insane. So bait them to attack. The 3 pools closest to the edge will have enemies. Yeah, I think in New Game Plus, 4 of these pools have enemies. Alright, so back to the lands. You can use the Miracle Force. That's the best thing to use to break these statues. Here we go. See one on the floor there. I am taking all of these out. Oh, and by the way, you can rest at a bonfire, and these statues will not come back as long as you don't die. And as long as you don't fast travel away from this area. So you can rest and reattune your spells or change weapons, stuff like that. I think that was everything. We're gonna destroy these statues at the top here. Yeah, the reason I'm destroying all the statues even now, this area has 3 invasions. 3 goddamn invasions. So maybe I should just do this. The goal of this enemy is to push you off the edge rather than, he doesn't do that much damage, but he wants to push you off the edge, so be careful with that. So yeah, 3 invasions, and I usually parry them. Because the other enemies kind of act similar to Forlorn. They have a lot of poise. They do a lot of damage. So I just like to have room, you know, when I fight them. The way these invasions work, so there are 2 enemies. One is called Woodland Child Victor and Woodland Child Gully. One is left-handed, the other one is right-handed. They use the giant's weapon, the last giant, I guess. And if you summon somebody, both of them will spawn at the same time. I am gonna go ahead and do that because I don't want to rest in this area. You can summon 2 people. You can summon Schmidt and Bashful Ray. Technically, it makes the fight a little bit more difficult because the enemies become more unpredictable. But but I want them both to spawn. That way I don't have to rest at a bonfire before the other enemy comes. So Bashful Ray is fighting an enemy. When I go over there, the invasion triggers. When I go to where that pool is. So I was going to finish him off, and now the invasion is probably going to trigger. Yep, I can't quit the game. These enemies kind of act a little bit like your shadow, or like they're on a string. These enemies, these summons. So if you just walk away, you want them to retreat, you just walk away like this, and they'll follow you. Even if they're engaged with an enemy, they usually follow you. So we want Woodland Child Victor and Gully to come over here. And, I mean, if you want to cheese this, just go for backstabs when they're distracted with Ray and Hunter and Smith. Is that only one of you? Not both of you? Oh, my fat roll. Okay, then. large clubs like this are very good for backstabs. I guess it's only one of them. I could have sworn you could get both. There we go. I guess I will have to rest at a bonfire then. Maybe just despawn them. Because there's another thing. If you bring these enemies down to an area that's below us, where you get the key to get the Havel's armor, there will be more giants. There will be one additional giant for every summon. And that makes the fight more difficult. There will always be one more giant than summon, essentially. Oh my good god. Okay, it works fine, it works fine. Maybe you have to walk all the way over here then. Yeah, usually there's just one invasion. Usually there's just one. I guess because I did summon them, if I walk over here, the second one comes. That's fine. We can fight him by ourselves. If you manage to parry him close to the edge, and you use something like a greatsword, you can knock him off. But there is a ledge below, which means which means he may sometimes not die. If he hits you, it's pretty damn. If he hits you once, you're pretty screwed. That weapon is extremely awkward to roll away from. It tracks at the very last second. It's very, very difficult, and has a lot of active frames. Okay, there we go. Some of these pools have enemies in them. Just be careful. I know which one they are, but I still sometimes... And they actually get more pools with enemies in them in New Game Plus. So there is Lucatil. And now, usually, for example, now I can rest at a bonfire safely without having to worry about Victor and Gully. Usually I use cast light, but I don't have the facilities for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a torch, and I'm gonna use flame swathe with some... I'm just doing this for the simpleness of, like, for the ease of you guys watching. We'll use, I guess this is the best ring I can use for now, or, you know, something like this. Basically, we're gonna fight the giants that give you the key to Havel's armor. Do I have any poison arrows? Yes, these poison arrows I picked up. Where the heck did I pick those up? I don't even bloody remember. Maybe I'll put some text on the screen. But they weren't bought, they were picked up. I have been to No Man's Worth, so I could have bought them from Gavlan as well. Yeah, the worms have respawned. This is another door, Forgotten Door, that you can open with the key we're about to pick up. I lit a torch, but you want to poison these giants. This is just the easiest thing to do. At least get them down to 1 and then start fighting them quote-unquote fairly, because these enemies are insane. Without the torch, you of course get less lock-on range. Oh boy. It takes 4 arrows to poison them. But with my current level of stamina, I can't really fire out 4 arrows. Whenever these enemies attack, just roll. Even if you think you're out of the range, just roll. And if you get all the way back here, they should stop following you. I've never had it to where they have followed me all the way out here. You're getting stuck on each other. But these giants, these giants can be pretty annoying because their hitboxes are completely ridiculous. So there's 2, 3. So again, if I don't roll there, he will hit me. 4, there we go. I guess maybe we can use Flame Swathe. This is the problem though. I have to roll into him there, but he should be backing up, yeah. Boom, perfect. One more. That got kind of close though. That got very, very close. All right, we're gonna put on the torch so you guys can see worth a damn. And then we're gonna fight the final one. I could have buffed my weapon as well. Actually, yeah, I do have dark. Giants are weak to dark. How you doing? Their heal has a hitbox. Just keep that in mind. So whenever they do an attack, like now, I'm not gonna get close to them because their heal, well, I don't know if that one has a hitbox on the heal, but some other attacks have a hitbox on their heal. So when they attack, just don't attack. Don't get close. And they can also hit you when you're on the ground. So they flatten you, but they can still hit you when you're flattened on the ground. It's ridiculous. That attack I like. Whoa. Okay, there you go. That's why I say always roll. It's absolutely ridiculous. Alright, hang on. I'm trying to like fight them in ways. The thing is, I don't really fight in a traditional way in Dark Souls 2. I don't lock on as much. I like to run around enemies in dead zone, and I'm trying to fight them in ways that people usually fight by locking on, and that's why I suck. Okay. Let's continue with the level. Now we just take an elevator up, and we're essentially done with this area. I'm not going to fight the Run. The Run is not notoriously a very difficult boss, so I'm sure you can figure him out. He's weak to thrust and lightning. So yeah. Now you can open the door with the worms. Now you can open the door with the Havel's armor. And you should be able to open one final door that leads to the Poison DLC. That one is in the gutter. Oh, no, sorry, in the hole in Majula. So yeah, that was really all I wanted to show for this video. There's one item I did forget, but it's not very important. It's back there. It's a divine blessing. That's what it is. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, learned something. Go out and slay this area if you wish, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.